Poppy go to the museum?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's playgroup outing.
Mrs. Fotheringill, are you sure it's a good idea taking the toddlers on an outing? They can be quite a handful.
The little darlings do have high spirits, but this time I'm not going to let them get the better of me.
That's the spirit, Mrs. Fotheringill. She's doomed.
Let's check all the toddlers are here. Daisy and Poppy.
Daisy and Poppy have promised to be as good as gold today. Not that that means very much.
I'm sure if Daisy and Poppy say they will be good, they will be.
Good as gold.
Nettle elf? Ouch!
She stung Mrs. Fotheringill with her nettle.
Raspberry fairy?
My little sister. Even her wand is rude.
Oh, and last but not least, Tarquin.
Tarquin like Fotheringill.
Tarquin is a monster.
Remember last time when the toddlers made Mrs. Fotheringill disappear?
Yes, all they found was her shoes.
Now, for today's outing, we're going on a trip to the museum.
The big museum? But that's full of big people.
Yes, but the museum has so many interesting things for the toddlers to look at.
Are you going to take away their wands, Mrs. Fotheringill?
No, Holly. If you trust a child, they will repay your trust.
This is going to be a catastrophe.
What's a catastrophe, Daddy?
What this is going to be.
Oh, look! Here comes the magic bus.
All aboard!
Come on, everyone.
Hold tight! Going up! Next up, the big museum.
Now, as you know, there will be big people at the museum. And we don't want to be seen by big people, do we?
No!
So what should you do if a big person sees you?
Turn them into a frog.
No, no, no. If a big person sees you, just pretend to be a toy. Like this. I'm a toy. I'm a toy.
Last stop, big museum. Everybody off.
Keep together. In we go.
Wow, these stairs are big.
Well, this museum is built for big people. Follow me, everyone, and try not to be seen. Ah! Oh!
Look, Mum, a tiny little person.
I'm a toy! I'm a toy! It's a toy. Some poor child must have lost it. Just put it over there so they can find it again.
Okay, Mum.
Phew, that was close.
Yes, Ben, but it shows the plan works. If you're seen, just pretend to be a toy.
I still think turning them into frogs is simpler.
In the big museum, we can get an idea of how wonderful it was in the past. This first room is about the Stone Age.
Ooh.
A long time ago, the big people lived in caves. These are models of how the cave people must have looked.
There's a button to press.
Did the cave people have electric light bulbs?
No, that's to show how the campfire would have looked when it was lit.
Here's another button. They move. Ooh.
You see, King Thistle? The toddlers are being as good as gold.
Good as gold.
It's actually going quite well. The toddlers haven't even made Mrs. Fotheringill disappear. Yet.
Stone Age times. Close your eyes and imagine what it must have been like. I have always wanted to know what it would be like to live in the Stone Age.
Abracadabra!
Oh dear, I suppose it was never going to last.
All they've left is her shoes.
Daisy, Poppy, where have you sent Mrs. Fotheringill?
Stone Age.
They've sent Mrs. Fotheringill back to the Stone Age.
That was a very naughty thing to do. Bring Mrs. Fotheringill back right now.
Okay.
Oh! On second thoughts, you don't want to know what it was like to live in the Stone Age. Oh, my shoes! It's good to have them back. Right, Next room, ancient Egypt. Look, here's a model showing how a pyramid was built.
It's quite small. Were the ancient Egyptians the size of elves and fairies?
No, the ancient Egyptians were big people, and the pyramids are huge. But they wouldn't be able to fit a full-sized pyramid into the museum.
Big.
That's right, Daisy. Think how big a real pyramid would be.
Here we go again.
Use your imagination.
Big.
Stop it!
Righto.
What's going on here?
Big people are coming.
What's in there?
Everyone, pretend to be toys.
And what are these little toys doing here?
Hello.
Hello?
Frog time.
Well done, Tarquin. Like they always say, when things are not going quite right, turn them into a frog.
That doesn't even rhyme. And turning people into frogs is not a good way to do things.
Why not? He'll turn back to a person in a moment and he won't remember a thing.
We better get out of here before he turns back again.
Yes, on with the tour. Oh, my goodness, that was all a bit of an adventure. What we need now is something a little less dangerous. Next room, the Vikings.
Less dangerous? Vikings?
People think the Vikings just ran around shouting. But really, they were gentle people who farmed and played music. If only there were Vikings around today. I'd love to know what they'd say to us.
She never learns.
Abracadabra.
Vikings! Running around and shouting.
Is it frog time?
Yes, now, please, turn them all into frogs.
Right you are. I know an interesting fact about Vikings. All they ate was spam.
I don't think that is correct.
It's true. Vikings ate spam. It was on the telly.
Nanny, what happens when the frogs turn back into Vikings?
They'll be very confused and maybe a tiny bit annoyed.
Right, let's make sure we're not around when that happens.
Wow, look at all those frogs.
And what's this?
Sorry about this, but I'm going to have to turn you all into frogs. Just for a bit.
Eh?
Frog time!
Nanny, why are there still bangs going on in the other rooms?
Well, it was going to happen at some point anyway, so I thought I'd save a bit of time and just turn the whole lot of them into frogs.
All the big people in the museum? You've turned them all into frogs?
That's right. I knew you'd be pleased.
Oh, what happened? Where am I?
It's the museum man. He's turned back to himself again. Yes, and he's confused and a little bit annoyed. Oh no! All the Vikings are turning back too.
Right, I think this is as good a time as any to leave.
Let's get out of here.
All aboard!
Keep together, children. Back on the bus.
Next stop, the Little Kingdom. Last stop. Everybody off.
Oh,
Well, all in all, that didn't go too badly. We survived, and the museum wasn't destroyed.
Good girl.
you see? All you have to do is trust the little darlings, and they will repay your trust.
She's really in a world of her own. She never learns.
And next time, I thought we could visit a...
Next time?
Yes, we'll visit a big castle. You know, I've always wanted to live in the times of knights in armor.
Abracadabra.
Let's bring her back. Abracadabra.
On second thoughts, I never want to live in the time of knights in armor. I think the safest, nicest time is right here and now.